The Pirates beat the Braves 9-3. Spencer Horwitz hits 2 home runs, and we may have witnessed Mitch Keller's last game in a Pirates uniform. You're listening to the North Shore Night Podcast presented by FanDuel. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show Powered by Primanti Bros. I'm your host, Anthony.DiNardo. With me, we have Nathan. Nathan, once again, what are you doing? You're killing us. Stop it. The service time is terrible. We need to manipulate you some more.
I've been an emergency taxi squad call up in the last couple hours again. I'm surprised my service time is being used now and not till next year. Thank you for, again, calling me up to the majors really early. I wasn't expecting this, so.
Get ready to be wearing the new Indianapolis Indians jerseys through June next year because you ain't coming up any earlier now.
Yeah, of course. Like OG says, September call-up season is in full swing in the last week of last weekend of Major League Baseball for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So
that it is. They took 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati, who have playoff hopes and dreams, and they're still going on today. So that was fun. And now this series is less meaningful. There's nothing that the Pirates are really going to do to hinder any playoff hopes for the Braves. But yeah, it's the last series of the season. And hey, the Pirates won 9-3. We had some fireworks tonight in Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely. And this was literally the Spencer Horwitz legacy game. And it's funny. Like I told you, I've been a Spencer Horwitz believer the whole time, not hopping on the bandwagon, but yeah, this was a Spencer Horwitz game. Like you said, too, we'll talk about it. Probably, I'm thinking Mitch Keller's last game as a Pirate. I would be shocked. You guys are probably going to talk about it like crazy this offseason with the Keller trade rumors. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Mitch. Hopefully, it's not his last. I mean, I personally like watching Mitch Keller. He's been a fun story to follow. But if he has to get traded, it probably has to happen at some point. So,
yeah, I feel like let's start with that. Just because that's probably the most negative part we'll talk about on the show. Because like you said, like this might have been Mitch Keller's last start in a Pirates uniform. Before we do get into that, of course, everyone in the chat right now, do yourself a favor. Stop what you're doing. Go in the comments, put in hashtag raise it, hit the enter button. And that way we have more than say like 50 people in the running for the Primanti Bros sandwiches. Because we're giving away 4 sandwiches tonight. 2 winners. So go ahead and do that. Hashtag raise it in the comments. We'll give away some sandwiches at the end of this game because this could be the very last time that we do that also. This might be the last time Mitch Keller's in a Pirates uniform, and it is the Pittsburgh Pirates. This could be the last time we give away sandwiches. So every time we do so right now, it's a blessing. So go ahead and do yourself a favor. Hashtag raise it. Get yourself the opportunity to win 2 sandwiches. But yes, Mitch Keller today, he has value. We talk about all the time, right? He's a very valuable pitcher for what he does. Now, tonight's game doesn't really cap off that, and we don't get to send him off by saying, see, this is why Mitch Keller is, valuable and blah, 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 blah. He doesn't make it through the 4th or into the 4th, I should say, 3.2 today. It started out pretty good, actually, and then it just felt like the command just fell apart. He walked 3 batters at one point, ends up with 5 in total, and he did strike out 6. But I mean, his command just went out of whack completely. I felt like.
Yeah, it was a weird. Like looking at his slash line tonight, his pitching box score, that is 3 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, but then the 5 walks, 6 strikeouts just really stand out. Especially the walks, like you said, the command had some control issues. He ends the year at a 4.19 ERA, so kind of Mitch standards, the standard for Mitch. He's kind of been known as that guy to eat the innings. Tonight, he really wasn't able to do that. Through the 89 pitches, only 51 strikes. So like you said, he was a little bit everywhere tonight. The walks were the issue, though. If he wasn't throwing those walks, he probably would have given the Pirates at least 5 tonight, because besides that, he was still able to get 6 Ks, which was just crazy seeing a guy with 5 walks still putting up more strikeouts than walks, which is something I think only Mitch Keller could really do today, especially on this Pirates squad. So like you said, very odd game for Mitch Keller. And if this is how it ends, which I personally think it is, it's a very weird ending for Mitch Keller to see him go out on the road in a meaningless game for the Pirates standards, which we were probably expecting Mitch Keller to go out in a meaningless game anyway. But on the road, not even at PNC Park, and 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. Very weird day for Mitch, but they still get the W. So
yeah, and like I'll give him some credit. Now, a lot of that too was when he got pulled from the game, rightfully a little bit upset when Ramirez came in and got the strikeout to end it, because he had a lot of traffic out there. But I mean, he did battle through it. I mean, the 1 earned run to 3.2, it didn't really, it gave the team opportunity to win. At that point in time, and the Pirates did have 4 runs scored at that point in time. They had 4 in the 1 inning, as we thought that's probably what's going to happen today. There's the typical 4 runs. The Pirates stopped their offense, but the 4 runs was enough at that point. And Mitch, even though his pitching wasn't too good tonight, he was not on tonight. He fought through and did enough to get the outs when needed. And 1 earned run in the 3.2. Again, it wasn't a good outing. It was not a good outing, but he limited the damage in his ineffectiveness. And obviously the Pirates still went on and won with a good margin. But again, that was kind of big for Mitch, not having it today to still battle through and only allowed the 1 earned run against this Braves. And also too, like, this Braves team is not good, but it's not good because their pitching is really, really bad. This is still actually a good offense. I mean, they're above average offense in total. And like you see what's in this offense. I mean, Acuna, there's Michael Harris, there's Olson. I mean, this is still a solid lineup. So again, this Mitch, he gave them an opportunity in the ineffective 3.2 that he was allotted to pitch for. So yeah, I guess hand it to him for that. And again, which is likely his last start, Nathan.
Yeah. It sucks because I liked Mitch Keller. I have his All-Star jersey from when he went to Seattle to go represent the Pirates. His basically Pirate story began with people already writing him off because it did not start very well. And he looked like a guy that was just going to fail and have to excel elsewhere. And then he becomes an all-star out of nowhere. And then he's been very decent. And basically he had a really good first half. And that's kind of where the story goes with Mitch Keller with a lot of people. The first half and then the second half fall off, which we did kind of start to see that, especially after this year's All-Star break. But at the same time, he's been a durable guy. He's been able to eat innings. So it's going to be one of those questions is like, if they actually trade him, they are going to be banking on this young pitching being able to thrive as good as they think it can be, which I think a lot of Pirates fans have seen so far, this young pitching staff be able to thrive. And there's been points that's crazy for me to say, just seeing all the hype of these young guys. I'm like, wait, Mitch Keller's starting still? Like it sucks for me to say that, but like, I'm like, oh yeah, Bubba Chandler's starting today. Here's Braxton Ashcraft. And I'm like, when is Mitch Keller pitching? And I'm like, oh yeah, he's pitching tonight. I don't know if it's felt like that for anyone else, but it's like, oh, it's Mitch Keller's turn now. It's kind of starting to feel that way. I don't know if it's starting to, like, the vibes are telling me it's like, oh yeah, he's gone. The replacements are all here. Burrows, Ashcraft, Chandler, and even some other guys. Barco just got a call up like this past week. So It's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. If he's still here, cool. If he's not, I wish him nothing but the best. I mean, I'll never meet him, but still, like, Mitch Keller did what he had to do in Pittsburgh.
Don't say never.
Hey, yeah, like you said, never say never. So
there you go. Get that positivity.
Hey, win number 70. Let's go.
There it is, baby. If the Pirates go win 70, you can meet anyone. Yes. But with that being said, yeah, you're right. And to keep things in perspective in mind, like Mitch Keller, you can argue, and we should probably be pitching better than what he does. Like, you see the stuff that he possesses, and it is a bit disappointing that he's not better than what he is. But I don't think that he's as bad as I think a lot of people tend to write him off for. And what I want to point out here is, like, he does have a 4.19 ERA now at this point in time. League average ERA is 4.17. So, like, he is a league average pitcher as far as, like, ERA goes. What makes him better, right? What adds that value is he's able to give you innings. Now, I mean, this year right now with only the 3.2, and again, they've kind of limited as well. And that's one thing with the Pirates, like, in general, like, they've been capping off these guys pitching, and Mitch Keller is also one of them. You know, we talked about the few starts ago. It's like I can get Paul Skeens or Mitch Keller. He's done this before while be limiting his innings. With that being said, he's 22nd in Major League Baseball in innings pitched right now too. So it's like his value comes in. Is he going to be effective? He's going to be out of league average. I mean, that's a number 3 starter. That's a number 3 starter, right? But what he does as number 3 starter is he doesn't give you 140 innings, 130 that you got to find someone else like your number 6 starter or 7 starter to also come in and pitch, you know, which means like as a combination of the two that brings that person down, right? Mitch Keller, he gives you 30 plus starts every year, you know, at league average production. That's a number 3 starter, right? So there you go. You know, he has more value than I think a lot of people give him credit for. You would want to see better out of him, but regardless, he's been a good story too, because we all remember that graphic, Mitch Keller being the worst pitcher in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
We remember it. And then a year later, how it's like, man, Mitch Keller's really turned it around. And, you know, he hasn't been like that guy, but he's been very solid. And so, like, tip of the cap to Mitch Keller. If this is your Pirates career, thanks for everything. And yeah, it's sad that you're sending him off this way. Mitch Keller's the pitcher to get you to the playoffs. He might not be the pitcher to win you in the playoffs. That's what Skeens can do. That's what Bubba can do. Maybe hopefully Ashcraft and such, right? But Mitch Keller gets you there. Unfortunately, we didn't have a team. We didn't have someone to assemble a team. There wasn't any playoff aspirations in Mitch Keller's time here. He wasn't able to get us to the playoffs. That's what's unfortunate.
Yeah, and there's probably, I would say there's a lot of teams out there that would love a Mitch Keller, especially going into the playoffs right now, that are like the Mets, for example.
Like the Mets?
Talk
about getting you to the playoffs.
They need a guy to eat innings, no matter how bad or how good he is after the break, because that's the big debate. I don't think that tanks his value, because personally, I was pro not trade Mitch Keller, because we saw what Bednar got. When we saw the quotes, Ben Cherington said, I want a team's top 5 prospect. Then he got the Yankees, I think, number 9 prospect in Flores. He traded for quantity over quality. So I'm happy they didn't trade. I'm happy Ben is hopefully won't be the one to trade Mitch Keller. If there's a new GM, he can have him. Now, if Ben trades Mitch Keller, which I'm sadly I'm hoping he's not back. And I think we're all under that assumption that he could be back. It's going to be interesting to see how he values him. It's going to be interesting to see how, like, a Mets, how maybe, I don't know, like, example, a Dodgers would value a Mitch Keller. It's going to be interesting to see how much they would be willing to give up, because a lot of people are like, get that major league bat. It has to be something. It has to be something of equal quality, I think, for a Mitch Keller, because he is under contract still. A team is going to have to pay Mitch Keller, that is his whole contract, the rest of it. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But yeah, Mitch Keller, solid Pirates career. Not the greatest, not the worst. It's just he's been good. He's been solid. He's been reliable. So
it was a great turnaround. It was a career that was looking like a disaster, because he was, and to kind of go to this comment here from MLB front office, awful GMs don't have a top 5 farm system, best hitting prospect, best 2 pitching prospects. And well, Mitch Keller was a prospect one time and he was looking awful. So again, like, that's nothing is certain with prospects. And Mitch Keller's going down a path where this could be a big failure. And yeah, kudos to him. And also this pitching regime. Like, I know I gave a lot of hate early on, but kudos to everyone involved in the pitching side of the Pirates right now. They helped him turn it around, and shout out to Tread also helping Mitch Keller turn it around, because he did. He became an effective pitcher. He got himself a contract. He's making $17 million a year. Like, shout out to Mitch Keller. He's earned that. And he might be on another team right now, helping them out in 2026 and beyond. So yeah, I feel like there's our talk about Mitch Keller and his send off for today. But let's talk a little bit about this game, because again, like, it was really offense driven. I know I'm just as shocked as you are, Nathan, to talk about that, but it was offense driven. Tommy Pham hit his 10th home run of the year, and Spencer Horwitz hit his 10th home run of the year. And the Pirates had a 4-run inning. And like, again, at that point in time, like, you thought maybe this is going to be enough. Maybe it might not be, but it might just be enough to hold on to this lead. And as the game was going on, it was seemingly that way. But the Pirates did something unique today as well, something they're not used to, not just by scoring 4 runs, but when they do, it usually is in that 1 inning and they lay down. They scored insurance runs. They scored 5 more. And a big one as well was another Spencer Horwitz home run, his 11th on the year, made the game 9-3 at that point in time. And the Braves weren't coming back.
Yeah, it's funny. After the rain delay, I was completely expecting something to go wrong. I don't know what it was. The bullpen came in, Matson and who was it? Burrows allowed runs each, and it became okay. It's
Yep.
starting to get a little bit interesting because I was texting.
Yep.
I literally said, "Unless we blow this somehow," I think that's what my words were, and you just sent like a laughing face. But I was getting a little bit okay, but then Horwitz comes up clutch, and it's funny. Literally, Cody and I were on here yesterday and we were talking about a team that struck out 14 times to Nick Lodolo, has one of the best games of his career, ties his career high in strikeouts. And then they go out there tonight against former Pirates, Joey Wentz. And who was the other one? I'm trying to Stratton. Yeah, Hunter Stratton. So
Yep.
Hunter Stratton looked really good against them. 2 strikeouts after loading the bases, that bases were loaded. But like they were able to get after Joey Wentz, and the game was basically over in that second inning when they took that lead on the Tommy Pham homer. And they just never went back. So it was a great night for the Pirates bats. It's nice to see. I mean, they stink. The offense has stunk all year, but it's nice to see them still putting in some effort, at least in this final week. Like this could easily be, we don't care anymore. We're done. But like they took 2 of 3 in Cincinnati, and then they beat a Braves team that's been playing some pretty good garbage time baseball as well. Like the Braves are a surprising team that had a horrible year this year, but this easily could have been a game where the Pirates bat just said, we're done. We don't care anymore. I'm ready to go play some golf or something. But no, they put up 9 home runs. I wish 9 runs, but like you had 2 guys hit home runs, one of which hits 2, including 2 bombs, and one of them in the 9th inning for a second or 11th on the year being Spencer Horwitz. But the offense, good on them to show up today and back up Mitch Keller, who had a very odd start. So good on the offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Early in the year, in the Shelton era, I think we kept debating and talking and discussing how this team just does not look prepared. They don't look mentally there. And it's been better that way. Now, in September, I feel like it's been hit or miss. This team looks like they're ready to play. Sometimes they don't. And, losing has an effect on you. But that was last night's show was about part of it too. Like the Cincinnati Reds series, they looked like they're prepared to play. They wanted to win. They wanted to go out there and take away the Reds' chances of winning a playoff. So like it was fun to watch that baseball because there was some actual intensity. And like what you're saying, like, yeah, to their credit, it seemed like it carried over to Atlanta. It wasn't like, hey, here's the last series. You know what, guys, let's all just hug. And it was nice seeing you all. And for most of you, won't see you again. Take it easy, right? It was like, no, we're out here to play again. And kudos to Spencer Horwitz also. I was a big downer on the trade. It wasn't so much that Spencer Horwitz is bad. It was just there's some uncertainty with Spencer Horwitz. He's probably a platoon guy, and could you have traded less to get him? Regardless, the trade's over. He starts off the year injured, so it's not fair to judge him right away because he's coming back from the injury. He needs his spring. He got off to a slow start, but man, Nathan, he has been tremendous. I mean, his last 57 games, 59 hits. At this point, I think it's probably close to like a 310 batting average. I mean, on the year with the struggles, not even just this small, it's really not a small sample, but like not even this sample of his season so far, like on the entire season with his struggles, he has a 786 OPS. I mean, clearly and easily the best hitter the Pirates have right now. So yeah, I'm buying in. Is the power going to be there? He's not probably going to be probably could prove us wrong. Again, he has 11 right now in this mixed season, but he's probably not going to be like a 20+ home run guy. But if he's going to be a guy who can hit for a good average and get on base and slug enough like some doubles, I mean, this team's starving for any just good hitter. Just collect good hitters. I don't really care how they come or what they come with. He's one of them right now. And I feel very, very comfortable going into 2026, knowing that Spencer Horwitz is at least the strong side of the platoon at first base.
Isn't it nice to go into the next season not having to worry about a first base free agent or trade right now?
I don't know what that feels like. So I'm still processing it.
Man, this Horwitz trade even looks better with the Luis Ortiz issue. Like this is finally, we were talking about it in the Discord. Is this probably one of the best Pirates trades in the last years? Like this might be the best Ben Cherington trade now.
Welcome to the whorehouse.
And Jim and I did welcome to the Whore Express. That sounded very wrong, but that's what we call it in the Discord.
It's
right
intended to be.
Yeah, the Horwitz Express. Me, formerly Baraki Truther, Silver Sponges, we lead the Horwitz Express. But yeah, this was a great game for Spencer Horwitz. He looks like a guy. Well, he looks like he is going to be the guy to be the first baseman for the next few years, based off how he has played this season. And I brought up this question to you like before. I want you to just think, or anyone in the chat to think, what this. I mean, it wouldn't probably have made a difference, but just imagine what Horwitz could have done. His overall stats, if the wrist issue wasn't an issue, he didn't miss the first 2 months. Could he be a guy to at least hit you 15 to 20 home runs? I think he could. And he was able to hit that mark in Toronto. I'm pretty sure at the top of my head. So Horwitz was a guy, a solid player with the Blue Jays. He wasn't given much opportunities because who was the Blue Jays first baseman every day? Vladimir Guerrero Jr. You're not going to play Spencer Horwitz over Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Spencer Horwitz has the opportunity now with the Pirates to thrive, and he is thriving, and he has the highest OPS on the team of 786. There could be a world where he just goes off these next 2 days and somehow gets to 800. That would be something. Spencer Horwitz is, I would say, the best player on this team offensively, not overall, but he has been something fun to watch. And it is actually like, we all don't like Ben Cherington. I can't believe I'm saying this, but like, props to him for finding Spencer Horwitz and giving him a shot. I can give the benefit of the doubt when it comes to Spencer Horwitz because he has actually worked out pretty well. And I know there was a lot of doubt with Spencer Horwitz, and that is warranted because we've seen the trade history that Ben Cherington has done and how the Pirates have not been able to develop these bats. And you see this trade happen. It's like, oh, it's just another guy that couldn't get, you hear the things. You hear, oh, he just couldn't get the opportunities. And you hear things like, oh, that's why we got him. I mean, sure, but like he's thriving and he's looking pretty solid. And I want to imagine a world where he was healthy all year and maybe he hits you 15 to 20 home runs. The Pirates haven't had a first baseman to man that position that was guaranteed since like Josh Bell. That's the last one I can think of. Because think of the first basemen they've had since Josh Bell. G-Man Joy, Michael Chavis, Carlos Santana. I think John Nagowski played there a couple times. The list goes, Rowdy Tellez, Daniel Vogelbach, who's now on the hitting staff. The list goes on and on and on. Spencer Horwitz can be a guy to play there the next 5 to 6 years or however long they have him under control, because I think it's around that range. So it's going to be interesting to see how Horwitz can have next year. It's going to be interesting. It was brought in the chat. Forget who said it, but they need to figure out a way to not have him be a platoon guy only. I would love to see him hit more lefties. Hope. Yes, because that is the thing with Horwitz that he gets some hate on, which I understand with it, is he can't really hit lefties well. And the big offseason addition of Horwitz, which looks like he was the best offseason addition by far, he's a platoon first baseman. Now they need to figure out a way to make him not a platoon first baseman and a guy that can hit those left-handers and get hit every day, because he looks like a very solid guy. Even if it's not the home runs, he can hit some balls into the gap. He can hit some doubles, and it's helped his OPS get high up too. So good on Spencer Horwitz for dealing this season, making the rest of the season worth it. It's been fun. Even the Pirates are out of it. It's fun to just stat watch particular players you like. And it's good to say I've been a Spencer Horwitz truther since the beginning. So it's a W for me at least. So
there you go.
Take those wins, fun with
Nathan. Nathan came on for like the last 2 games of the season just so he can talk his ish. But I just want to point something out here too. There's something in the comments also. Like, ideally, you want your first baseman hit like 30 bombs and whatever. And like, I understand like the corners are a position of power. I guess this where I'm at is just you can't really. You need offense in any way you can get it. You can't be picky. So, like, if Spencer Horwitz is going to be a guy that might cap off at 15, maybe get close to 20, and not be the 30 that you ideally want, if he's hitting 300. Getting on base over a 350 clip, and like having the gap-to-gap power and stuff, like he's still a solid hitter. I'm absolutely taking that because this team needs it. Like you said, this whole season, if he was here a whole season, like what could he have done? And I go back to this. I mean, there's only 4 first basemen in baseball now with 30 home runs or more. There's 8 with 25 or more. I mean, the best hitting first baseman in baseball by way of weighted runs created plus, right? It's how we kind of evaluate hitting, is Vladimir Guerrero, and he has 23. So, like, it's not a, this is the worst case scenario or like, oh, this isn't good enough. This guy can't hit 30 or he can't hit 25. If he's just a good hitter, this team needs to collect good hitters in every which way they can. So if Spencer Horwitz isn't going to hit 30 home runs, I'm still fine and okay with him being what he is, because what he is an asset to this team. Hey, you know what? There's one problem solved. That's the only problem you have. You still have 8 more problems, but like at least one solved. Maybe you find some power at third, maybe you find some in the corner, maybe start collecting it, and in the aggregate, you get something. You know what I mean? But like Spencer Horwitz is fine. He's showing me that he's very capable. I'm pleasantly happy with Spencer Horwitz. I will put it that way. He's shown me enough. He showed some things last year. Do you trust it? That's where it came from. Do you trust it? He's been an old prospect making his debut. Small sample there with Toronto. Do you trust it? Now he's coming over here. I'm starting to trust it. But at any rate, a big game by Spencer Horwitz, who just continues to rake. He just keeps showing it. He's finishing out the year that way. And so again, shout out to him. But the Pirates only struck out 7 times today. That was pleasant. Now, of course, the Braves pitching staff isn't that great. It was Joey Wentz, right?
What are you talking about? It's Joey Wentz. He's a legend.
But it is the Pirates offense. 14 hits, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, also 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. So the offense showed up today.
Yeah, you have to commend them for like I said, they showed up. They're showing up at the end of the season. Like, this team has had the weirdest spurts. Like, I remember before the All-Star break, they swept the Mets and Cardinals. They shut out the Cardinals every game. Everyone's like, oh, there's a realistic shot maybe if they go on a little run in Seattle, Minnesota, Kansas City going into the break. They were, I think, under like 13 games under at that time. And they were like, oh, maybe they could get some fire. Then they, I think, won 1 game that entire stretch. Yeah. Then they just swept the Dodgers, and then they did this exact same thing in Baltimore and DC, etc. And now I guess they're ending the season on a high note, it looks like. Win a series against the Athletics, cool. Win a series against the Reds, that's cool, to maybe give them some playoff concerns. It's looking like the Mets are helping the Reds out, actually, which sucks. But right. Maybe they win a series in the year, and with some positives, I guess. But it's going to be an offseason of concerns. It was brought up, like Miles brought it up earlier, like they did solve first baseman for cheap. And maybe, like you guys talked about it before, about they need to actually go out and spend the money if they actually will, which they probably won't. But like use it on a position of need, like third base or shortstop. Well, not shortstop, but like third base, especially left field, because Tommy Pham more than likely won't be back. I personally don't want Pham to be the answer, but you need to be able to use that money elsewhere. And Horwitz on league minimum, that's fine with me if they want to be cheap there, because his bats look pretty solid. Like you said, if you're not going to hit 30 home runs, he's hitting like above 270 right now. That's completely fine with me. And I could care less about the home runs. So.
Yep. I mean, that was my big thing about that trade. The thing is, I didn't love it, but I did say this does allow them to go out there and spend money. So if this trade is allowing them to go out there and get the other big bat that they needed for this year, then I see the vision. That's fine. The problem was they didn't capitalize on doing that. They just went for cheap. So again, they've cleared cap space. I say cap space. There's no cap, but they shedded salary to give them more flexibility. And then so hence I understand Horwitz is cheap. That's where a lot of value comes into. So if they're able to go ahead and maximize this renewed money that they might have going into next year and spend it and acquire some way or another a third baseman and a left fielder, at least 2 competent bats in those 2 positions, then you're getting somewhere. And hopefully again with a full season of Spencer Horwitz, he's showing again he can be a very capable player. You hope there's a bounce back from Brian Reynolds. You hope there's something from O'Neill Cruz, and we don't know about the catcher position. Also, here's some of the comments here. Also, but like Rafael Flores, I don't know what he's going to be. But like he could be the answer if he can be an answer. We don't know yet. But, as far as like a catcher and the other platoon guy for Horwitz, maybe there's something there. But at any rate, it was a good game for the offense, especially for Spencer Horwitz. Jared Chiola had a double today. Nick Gonzalez went 2 for 5. Brian Reynolds went 2 for 5. Brian Reynolds has 18 hits in his last 19 games at Truist Park, I think. Is that what it is? Something crazy like that. 17 out of 18, something wild. He just loves hitting in Atlanta. And then McCutchen went 1 for 4. Horwitz, we talked to 2 home runs, but he also goes 3 for 3 with 2 walks. He had 5 plate appearances. He was on every single time. Tommy Pham 1 for 5, and then York 2 for 4, and Henry Davis 2 for 4. When's the last time Henry Davis had a multi-hit game, Nathan? So Henry Davis 2 for 4.
Yeah, the catching is going to be an issue this offseason they're going to have to address. But like I was going to say, like, it's nice to see personally Brian Reynolds trying to at least make this best of a lost season for him, because ever since the All-Star break, he's definitely been a lot better, in my opinion, like to watch. It hasn't been like constant, like horrible strikeouts in the first half. We got to see that all the time in the first half for Reynolds. But like he's got above a 7.9, he's at a 719 OPS. His average is still below where you want to see it at 244. But I think next year will be a better year for Brian Reynolds. I sure hope it is. Same with O'Neal Cruz. But they're a big reason why this team did not do what I think they wanted to do this year. But it's nice to see Brian Reynolds stay hot at the end of the year, because he easily could. Besides Skeens and Kutch, I would say Reynolds is probably the leader of that clubhouse, as much as he probably doesn't want to say, because we all know Reynolds doesn't have the biggest personality on the planet. But it's nice to see him putting forth this effort at the end, especially from a guy you're expecting to see out of. And it's a guy as well that we all know definitely knew he had to be better this year. So good on Reynolds, looking good at the end. But yeah, he has to be better next season, because like this was not a great year for Reynolds. This is by far, I don't want to count his COVID year. I would say this is the worst year of his career. Like just watching it on TV. So.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely fair. That's one thing that's been a talking point as well. You know, we want to see how Brian Reynolds finishes this season, because is it just people? I'm not going to say they're allowed. Like you shouldn't allow. I mean, you have a bad season, you have a bad season. That's not good. You shouldn't be given that, but it happens. It does happen. Is this the anomaly? Is this Brian Reynolds going forward? So like, how did he finish the season? Was it just maybe a very, very, very bad first half? And so like at the All-Star break, he had a 79 weighted runs created plus. So today with a 2-hit performance, he's at a 99. So he's approaching league average. I'm waiting to see when he cracks in, goes above it. He hasn't yet. He's getting close. But since the All-Star break, what you've seen, and this doesn't count today, is only going to go up. Well, maybe it's a 127 weighted runs created plus. So he's been 27% above league average since the All-Star break. So like how you are seeing Brian Reynolds finish is more of, well, this is Brian Reynolds. So that does make you feel more comfortable heading into next year. We know he's typically a little bit of a slow starter, never as bad as he was this year. You know, like by Brian Reynolds standards, he's a slow starter, but every month he's always been at least league average. That's the thing. You know, he's only league average, so it's a slow start, and then June comes and he clicks, right? This year he's been a bad player. Again, heading into the All-Star break, he was at a 79. He was 21% below a league average hitter. So it's been really bad for Brian Reynolds. So yes, seeing how he's finishing this year also makes you feel a little bit better about next year, that, hey, you know what? It was a bad first half. Throw it away, toss it out, forget about it. I think Brian Reynolds is going to be closer to the Brian Reynolds that we know starting next year, opposed to, you know what? I think this might be it for Brian Reynolds. That's how I feel about him right now.
Yeah, and as Charles brought it up, the Marte catch on Reynolds in the ninth,
God,
that might have saved the Reds season, which is just sad to say.
And he would be an above average hitter right now.
Yeah, at least,
we could be having this talk.
Yeah, and you know it's funny. Like I can blame it on that, but I'm also gonna blame it on the Mets just blowing it. Like, what are they doing? And I hate the Mets too, but like, I really don't want the Reds in the playoffs, because I just know Brian Hayes is gonna have this somehow magic moment. It just, the script is there. He's gonna hit something down, like some ground ball down the line, misplayed by like Freddie Freeman or something in the first round, and the Reds are gonna win in Game 3 or something stupid. But yeah,
I mean, something stupid. I feel it's not going to be. He's going to hit a home run. It's going to be a grand slam. Like it's going to be a home run in that ballpark.
I want to ask you a question really quick, DiNardo, because we didn't even talk about the only part of the offense that didn't do anything: the Canario-Sawinski tandem. I'll ask you this question. This is something I can definitely tell, like the chat in the past, us on the Discord and social media in general. Is the Sawinski experiment done? Is he off the roster next year?
That's a very good question that I'm not ready to answer, because I think it depends on who the GM is. I think it depends on what the offseason moves are. I mean, they're certainly giving him some run. This is the guy that Ben has acquired. But one thing I will give Ben is I don't think he hasn't shown that he's the type where I made that move and I'm going to squeeze everything out of it to try to make this right. He's moved on pretty quickly from some guys that he has acquired. So I'll give him that, where I feel like Neil was like the opposite, you know, like, oh, I can't get rid of this guy because he's one of mine. So I'm going to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. but it has to be, right? Like, I feel like it has to be. If you're heading into next year and you really want to win, Jack hasn't shown he's the guy. He just hasn't.
Yeah, I only brought this up because I was playing Xbox before getting on this, talking to watching the game on the side, and the graphic comes up. He's hitting 137 with a 519 OPS. It's been, I think we're now 2 years off the 26 home runs, and then last year we saw what happened. And I literally told one of my buddies I was playing with on Xbox, I was like, Ben Charrington will somehow fall for it again, and if he's the GM, crazy spring training, because this is what happened with Sawinski and Bay. They both had crazy spring trainings. They both make the major league roster. We see what happens in Miami. Bay goes down first because he juked himself out on a stolen base and he gets injured at third base. And Jack Sawinski goes down to AAA. He rakes in AAA and then he comes up and he just looks lost. It gets brought up here as well. Peguero's the same way. I talked to Noah over on my channel and I asked him the question, basically, what are they doing with Peggy, Sawinski, and Bay? Are they even here? He's like, I really don't see a world that they are here. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, Peguero's a certain one as well. I mean, they've given him less run, and I feel like deservedly so. I mean, I was really pulling for the kid, but he really hasn't shown anything. And it's like he's also not showing it in AAA. That's part of the problem. But with Sawinski, he's going to be out of options also. I mean, I don't see a scenario where you're rostering him. I really don't.
Yeah.
Is something there? I mean, he has talent. That's undeniable. He has talent, but I don't see it translating to be a consistent guy that you can depend on to being on your team if you're trying to win games. Maybe this is a guy that some other team can pick up, right? The years 2020 to 2025 Pittsburgh Pirates for some other team, right? Some team that says hey, let's give this guy a chance because we're not doing anything, and maybe he turns around for them. I could see Jack Sawinski becoming some type of a player in baseball, but you can't go into next year with that. You have to do better. So
yeah, I'm only not to get off topic there, but I was only bringing it up just because you're still seeing him in the lineup every day, and I know he had the double in Cincinnati to help them win in extra innings. That's awesome. Good to see from Jack. It's nice to see Jack succeed when he actually gets to succeed or has those moments, but it just shows the 519 OPS. Just, I don't think, especially for a team that already can't hit and he's taking up a 40-man roster spot, that's where it gets concerned. Even Bay too, they can't hit and they're both getting opportunities late. I mean, I understand it's September, but you want to probably see something from other guys that you think might actually play more next year. But it also shows there's nothing else to play out.
Yeah, to not drag this topic out, but I think that's really what it is. Yeah, you would rather see other guys, but the problem is there's not other guys to see. So therefore, insert Jack Sawinski into the lineup and insert G1 Bay into the lineup, while he was there. So I think that's really what it is. Especially with Cook being injured, what's really there? What guy are you wanting to see realistically?
I can't believe
that's part of the problem.
I forgot Billy Cook was even a thing.
But there you go. And it's not like he was having a tremendous season. He picked it up, but then he got injured. He's not available to play. So who are you going to see in place? In lieu of Jack Sawinski, who are you putting in there? So I don't think it's really that they're trying to give him a run to really, really see what he has, at least at this point in time, maybe earlier in the call up. I just think it's, he's on the roster and there's really no one else. So someone needs to play. That's it. But at any rate, like mentioned, it's a good win. The Pirates have earned 70 wins on the season. I wasn't sure they would get 70 this year. They did it. They got 70.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then, like I said, Mitch Keller, not the greatest start. Ramirez came in, finished off that inning. He got the 1 out. Burrows goes 2, gives up a run. Matson gives up a run in 1 inning. Then Nicholas made you nervous, but he got through it. 2 strikeouts, 1 hit. And then Dennis Santana came in and closed it out, even though it wasn't a save, but he closed it out. Game over. Pirates win 9-3. We should give away some sandwiches. What do you think?
Yeah, it's his first time ever doing it too. I didn't get to do it yesterday, so hopefully the taxi squad doesn't have issues today before I go back down to the minor leagues.
Well, let's do it. And I'm telling everyone, I said get them hashtags in there so we don't have 50. We have 57 entries, so get them going in there. Hashtag raise it. This could be the last time we ever give away sandwiches.
It really could. So,
while I'm pulling this up, you guys know what to do as well. Like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. We love you. We love those who support. We really do. All right, we're at 58. We're at 59. Give it a few more seconds. If you want to check us out on our Patreon, we're at 60 now. Go ahead and click the link. You can become a member of our YouTube as well. Get all the cool emojis. Get your videos that you produce. Get those early.
go watch the Gung video we put out this weekend.
There it is. That was pretty good.
It was depressing to make because it's like,
I saw a World Series victory vicariously through your little story. Steven Williams is our very first winner. So congratulations, Steven. Obviously, you guys by now should know the drill. Send us your email address associated with the Primanti Brothers app. If you don't have the app, go ahead and download it. Whatever email address you sign up with, send us that email. That way we get you added here and get those sandwiches out to you. You can email us at northshore9@gmail.com. So that way we can do so. So congratulations to Steven. Let's draw our second winner. I hope it's not Bucko Mike.
I hope it is.
Oh my God. It's ties down.
Even better.
Is this his third time winning?
I am not sure personally, but
the funny thing is too, is it was when I said, I hope it's not Bucko Mike. And of course it was Ty's dad who won.
Now you probably wish it was Bucko Mike.
No, never.
Respect Bucko Mike.
Bucko Mike says, yes, it is his third time winning. We're gonna have a Primanti Brothers open up at your house. All right. Well, congratulations to Ty's dad. I'm coming over for dinner. Let me know when to show up. But Ty's dad, I have your email address. Don't worry about it.
Just send it again, just for fun.
All right. So shout out to those two winners today. We'll be back tomorrow for the post-game show. And then, of course, Sunday, I think it's Neil and myself capping off the season. So we love you guys. Thanks for joining. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us. Nathan, thanks for hopping on. I appreciate what you've done the past week, 2 shows. Man, I'm telling you, though, we're not seeing you again until at least June 11th next year.
Yeah, what are you doing with my service time? Like, I was packing my bags, like Bucko Mike said, to go to AA Uniontown, but like, yeah, I'm still here. So
I said, I buy you a plane ticket to Atlanta. This is terrible. I'm gonna have to sell North Shore 9.
Oh no, don't do that.
sell the team, DiNardo.
Sell the team. Get in the chat. Sell the team, DiNardo.
Nathan's just killing our pocket. No more money. I gotta manipulate some more service time here. No, anyways, though, again, we thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.